Steve Lacy is one of my favorite artists around today. Known for his guitar-based tracks and angelic vocals, I wanted to dive into Steve Lacy's production to find out what gives Steve Lacy his signature sound. Steve Lacy's song Bad Habit from his album Gemini went #1, and what better way to understand Steve Lacy's sound than to break down this track. Steve Lacy always seems to use chord extensions such as 7th, 9th, and 11th. In this track, Steve Lacy played these chords. Using 2 guitar takes, I panned one left and one right, giving the song a much fuller, wider sound. Chorus is an effect often utilized by Steve Lacy, and you can hear it on these guitars here. Next were the drums. These are very simple drums with just reverb on the snare. The bass guitar in this track then just follows the root notes, and Steve Lacy adds extra licks just to keep the bass line interesting. The last element of this track is the synth melody, which plays in the latter half of the chorus. The space in this song allowed Steve Lacy to deliver one of the most catchy songs of the past few years. This remake, as well as all remakes from every one of my videos, will be over on my Patreon. Go and check all of those out for a more in-depth look. In Steve Lacy's tracks, I noticed certain elements he always seems to use. Firstly, guitar, often with chorus, chord extensions, mainly downstrokes on the guitar, synth melodies and pads, simple indie drums, and live bass. So let's make our own track in this style. I started with these chord extensions on 2 guitar tracks, one panned left, one panned right, with chorus. Steve Lacy often uses Strat style guitars, and if you cannot play guitar, I recommend getting a guitar plugin, and I would run it through a clean amp and add chorus. The next thing I added was this drum break from the Scorpio drum kit, layered with these one-shot drums. To the one-shot drums, I added a flanger just to give them more movement. Steve Lacy does that in tracks such as this. By combining the drum break and the one-shot drums, it allows the drums to just have a way fuller sound. The track needed some low end, which is when I added this live bass, and I followed the root notes in a rhythmic pattern and added licks like Steve Lacy to keep it interesting. Next, I added this guitar lick with distortion, with inspiration from his track Helmet from Gemini Rights. And in the latter half of the chorus, I added this lead from the Orber. Today's video is sponsored by lalal.com. Lalal.com is a service that allows you to transform your voice into some of your favorite artists and singers using their next level AI technology. It is by far the best vocal transformation service out there. The way in which I use lalal.com is to see if certain artists would fit on the beat. And for this beat, I chose Frank Ocean, Lana Del Rey, and SZA, and used the cover song section using Sunshine by Steve Lacy, which I then just matched up to the correct key. And these are the results.
Looking like it's all catching up to you lately. A couple months since I told you it's over.
I admit that I was alone. You're taking it just as high. Criticize me all along. I took high road. You read the web when already. This is still that special in the whole world. I shine.
So as you can see, it allows you to see what kind of artist would fit on the song. The link in the description will get you 10% off. Thank you again to lala.com, and let's get back into it. In the verse, the lead guitar is taken out and I add this simple backing piano, just following the chords. In the back half of the verse, this simple pad is added with this lead. Again, signature of Steve Lacy, combining the synth sounds with the guitars. In verse 2, I added these extra guitar parts. They are playing the exact same chords as earlier, but using a wah pedal to give it this washed background effect. The last thing I added to this track was this guitar solo, using the minor pentatonic scale and ran through a fuzz pedal, just to make it stand out more in the mix. Steve Lacy says he makes music to evoke emotion. Frank Ocean is an artist who also does this. And to find out how Frank Ocean makes music, check out this video.
I wish I knew you wanted me.